Have you ever scrolled through Instagram and felt a pang of jealousy? Seeing all those people living their best lives, fancy cars, designer clothes, exotic vacations. It makes you wonder, is that even real? Well, today I'm going to tell you a story that pulls back the curtain on the illusion of online success. It's the story of Alejandro Torres, a man who chased a dream, built a fantasy, and lost everything, only to find something far more valuable. Alejandro arrived in Los Angeles with stars in his eyes. Like so many before him, he believed in the American dream. The idea that with enough hustle, you could make it big. He came from a small town in Mexico, and his family saw him as their golden ticket, their hope for a better future. The pressure was immense. He landed a decent job, but it was just that, decent. It paid the bills, but it wasn't the glamorous life he had envisioned. And it certainly wasn't the life he felt he needed to show everyone back home. LA is a city of illusions. Everywhere he looked, Alejandro saw success, or at least the appearance of it. He felt the gnawing insecurity that he wasn't measuring up. He started to feel like a failure, not because he was, but because his reality didn't match the fantasy. That's when he turned to Instagram. It started small. He'd find a fancy-looking hotel lobby and snap a picture as if he were staying there. He'd walk through Beverly Hills and pose next to a Lamborghini parked on the street, carefully cropping the photo to make it look like his own. He started getting more likes, more followers. People from his hometown would comment, "Wow, you made it. And so proud of you." Each comment was a small hit of validation, but it was also another brick in the wall of lies he was building. The small deceptions weren't enough anymore. He needed to escalate the fantasy to keep up with the expectations he had created. He started using his credit cards to rent luxury cars for a weekend, just for a few photos. He'd rent a designer suit for an evening, take 100 pictures in it, and return it the next day. His Instagram feed became a carefully curated masterpiece of deception. There was Alejandro sipping champagne on a yacht, a boat party he paid $100 to get on for a few hours. There he was in a stunning high-rise apartment with panoramic city views, an Airbnb he and a few friends chipped in for one night. To his followers, he was a mogul, a success story. In reality, he was drowning in debt. Then came the calls from home. His mother needed money for a medical procedure. His younger sister wanted to go to college. They believed he was rolling in cash, so they asked, how could he say no? How could he admit that the jet-setting millionaire on Instagram was actually eating instant noodles to save money? His pride wouldn't let him. So, he took on more debt. He sent them money he didn't have, borrowing from one credit card to pay another, digging his financial grave deeper and deeper with every wire transfer. He justified it by telling himself he'd make it all back once his big break finally came. But the big break never came. Instead, the floor fell out from under him. The company he worked for downsized, and he was laid off. Suddenly, he had no income. The rent for his modest, real-life apartment was due. His credit card bills were piling up, the interest compounding his misery. On top of that, his work visa was tied to his job. Without it, his immigration status was in jeopardy. He was in a state of sheer panic. Desperate, he saw what he thought was a lifeline. A friend told him about a new cryptocurrency that was guaranteed to explode. "It's a sure thing," his friend said. "You can double your money in a week." Alejandro, with what little savings he had left and more borrowed money, threw everything into it. It was a scam. Within days, the entire investment vanished. The website went dark, the developers disappeared, and his money was gone forever. That was it. That was rock bottom. He was jobless, broke, facing deportation, and utterly alone in a city that had once promised him everything. He sat in his empty apartment, the eviction notice taped to the door, and looked at his phone. He scrolled through his own Instagram feed, a gallery of a life he never lived, a person he never was. And in that moment, a profound realization hit him like a physical blow. It wasn't poverty that had destroyed him. It was his pride. It was the desperate need for validation, the fear of being seen as ordinary, that had led him down this path of self-destruction. He could have deleted the account, disappeared into the shame, and tried to start over in obscurity. But he decided to do something radically different. He decided to tell the truth. He propped up his phone, hit the record button, and started speaking. He didn't hold anything back. With tears in his eyes, he confessed everything. He talked about the rented cars, the fake apartments, the crippling debt, the pressure from his family, the scam that took his last dime. He admitted that the successful entrepreneur everyone admired was a lie. He ended the video by saying, "This is me, jobless, broke, and about to be deported. But for the first time in years, I'm being honest." He posted the video and turned off his phone, terrified of the backlash. When he finally turned it back on, hours later, he was stunned. The video had gone viral. But the reaction wasn't what he expected. There was no mockery, no ridicule. Instead, his inbox was flooded with thousands of messages of support, empathy, and love. People shared their own stories of feeling pressured by social media. They thanked him for his courage and his honesty. Complete strangers offered to help, setting up a small fund to assist him with his immediate needs. The community he had tried so hard to impress with fake wealth embraced him for his real vulnerability. As expected, Alejandro was deported back to Mexico. But walking across the border wasn't a walk of shame. It was a walk of liberation. The weight of his false persona was finally lifted. He was no longer a prisoner of his own lies. He felt a sense of relief he hadn't felt in years. He was free. Back in his hometown, he didn't hide. He used his newfound platform, the one he had built on a foundation of lies, to build something new, something real. He started a small YouTube channel and a podcast, not about getting rich quick, but about the real struggles of life. He shared his journey, the mistakes he made, and the lessons he learned. He talked openly about mental health, financial literacy, and the dangers of comparing your life to the curated highlight reels you see online. His story resonated deeply. He wasn't an influencer selling a fantasy anymore. He was a friend sharing his truth. He found that his real story, with all its machines and failure, was far more compelling and valuable than the perfect life he had pretended to have. The story of Alejandro Torres is a powerful reminder for all of us. The pressure to project success is real, especially in the age of social media. But integrity is worth more than any luxury car. Honesty is more valuable than 1 million followers. The true American dream, or any dream for that matter, isn't about accumulating fake wealth or external validation. It's about the opportunity to build a life of purpose, to be true to yourself, and to find connection through genuine human experience. Alejandro lost his version of the American dream, but in doing so, he found himself. And that is a success story worth sharing. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that matter. See you next time.